Greetings, my noble knights. It is I, Blaze Templar. And I actually have found something absolutely amazing. I'm not a fan of PETA. I think their organization is absolutely terrible. The things they do are awful, awful, awful. Anyway, they were talking about how shearing sheep is bad. It'll kill them and stuff. And so I basically went, yeah, no. Sweaters are made through shearing, cutting the wool. And for those who are unaware, I know there are probably a few because it's a farm animal. It's not something that is going to come up. Basically what happens is sheep are constantly growing their wool. This is a natural process. You can argue that we have had an impact on them to encourage this growth through selective breeding. We've done this to hundreds and hundreds of species. Dogs, cats, sheep, cows, you name it. And domesticated cows, domesticated sheep, these animals are all very dependent on human survival at this point. Just because of the selective breeding. Is that right? That's ethically debatable. But it's what we have now. These animals are dependent on us because of how they've been selectively bred. So they're much more reliable. Reliant on us, not reliable. But they are more reliable on giving the natural resources we need, like milk, like wool, etc. Anyway, for those who are curious, wool sweaters do not harm the animal. What it does is you shear it off with a pair of clippers, and it will naturally regrow over time. This isn't done in the winter, obviously. This would be more a spring and summer thing. But if you don't do this, the wool will continue to grow endlessly. Now, wild animals and domestic animals are completely different beasts. So you can't compare the two, which is what PETA is doing right now, which is insane. Like, literally psychotic. To an unprecedented level. Anyway, I can't show you on this account. I'd have to go incognito because I pointed this out, and look what PETA did. You are blocked for being critical of something, a major supposed organization for the help and humane treatment of animals, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, blocks because of a critical statement towards them. How childish and petty do you have to be to do this? Everything PETA does lacks any sort of ethics, integrity, or dignity. I mean, the fact that just this was too much for them to handle is a joke. Like, seriously, this was too much for them to handle. You don't know how sweaters are made. It's a joke. I explain how animals work in that regard, and that's enough to end up blocking a person. Okay, you are insane, PETA. You are a joke, and good on you for being so thick-skinned. Just good on you. Really, though, these individuals have executed, I'm going to call it execution because that's what it is at this point. About 70 to 80% of all animals that are brought into them, they euthanize. They're very good at putting animals down. They're not very good at actually taking care of them. They're a very money-grubbing group, obviously. And this is the first time I've actually interacted with them on Twitter, and obviously it will be the last time because they are cowards. They are a cowardly, weak organization that relies on theft. That's really what it is. And what I mean by theft, by lying to the people that donate to them, by manipulating, by showing awful, awful ads, and putting together just sickening things just to forward their agenda, which is just a complete joke. You have no dignity, no honor. Your ethics, your ethical treatment of animals is a joke because you have no ethics, you have no morality, and you continue to show this day in and day out with everything you do. So, for those who are curious, I'm okay with being blocked from PETA because I don't need to see their stupidity. I'm going to go ahead and post this video because it is hilarious that this is their response to someone who's commenting and criticizing one element and not even calling them out on a lot of their other more negative things. So, good on you, PETA, for being complete and utterly trash, for being such a joke. Oh, goodness. I actually am glad I'm blocked so I don't have to see any of your garbage ever again. Because if this is the kind of treatment you have for people and for animals, no, you have no ethics. You have no integrity. So, there we go. Goodbye.